Here's a question for you. How deep is God's love for us? Stuart Townend wrote a song that asked the question, how deep the Father's love for us? We could ponder that question for a long time. The best place to start, though, is at the cross. His wounds have paid my ransom is a line that's in that song, and I think it sums up where you should start when you're asking the question, how deep is God's love for us? His wounds have paid my ransom. Jesus' wounds, the pain he went through as he was executed, is the price he paid to save me and buy me back. 1 Timothy 2:5-6 says, "For there is one God and one mediator also between God and men, that man, Jesus Christ, who gave himself as a ransom for all." To wrap our head around the word ransom, here are some examples. Last year, someone slid their car into our mailbox. That person paid for our new mailbox. The person and their car were then ransomed. Here's another example. Recently, our cat chewed up the padding on a friend's compound bow we were borrowing. We owe him for the bow. When we pay him, eventually, our cat and I, because I'm the responsible party, will be ransomed, though my wife thought the cat deserved death. These are examples of a ransom. It makes right a wrong. Although a little odd sounding, here's another example found in Exodus 21:28-30. It involves an animal too. We'll pick up in verse 29. If a bull has had the habit of goring and the owner has been warned but has kept it penned up, and it kills a man or woman, the bull must be stoned and the owner must be put to death. However, if payment is demanded of him, he may redeem or ransom his life by paying whatever is demanded. He may redeem his life by whatever is demanded. The bull is killed and the owner put to death, unless that ransom is paid and agreed upon. For a contemporary version of this, you could add the word pit in front of it, pit bull. You hear stories sometimes in the news of a pit bull attacking a little girl or a little boy. The pit bull is usually put to sleep, and the owner is fined. A ransom is set for that wrong that had been done. In the Old Testament, if a bull attacked a girl, the bull was killed, and the owner too, unless the agreed upon ransom was met. This scenario can also be compared to sin. Paul says in Romans 6:23, the wages of sin is death. Now, if you're in the habit of sinning and that sin hurts someone, you deserve to experience that same pain. I had a friend a while ago, had some drinks late at night, went home drunk, couldn't stay, he couldn't keep his car within the lines, and wound up hitting a bicyclist. And that bicyclist was killed instantly. My friend spent a long time in jail. When he got out, he had a long time on parole and had to pay some very hefty fines. A ransom was set for that wrong that was been done. But the reality is, the ransom wasn't entirely paid. You can't pay for a life unless it's with a life. And that's why when it comes to sin, because the wages of sin is death, that we can't pay our own ransom. Now here's the good part for the bull's owner. Here's the good news for my friend who hit the bicyclist. And here's the good news for us sinners. In verse 30 of Exodus 21, it says, however, if payment is demanded, the owner may ransom his life by the payment of whatever is demanded. Think about that word, however. However, how relieved the owner of the bull must have been when the sentencing. He hears the law and then hears the words, however, there is a way to ransom your life. Picture yourself in this situation. Because of what you have done, you hear your own death sentence and then hear an alternative. Really, you don't have to picture yourself. You are in this situation. I am in this situation. Your sin and my sin have gotten loose and wreaked havoc on those around us, and we deserve death. In Exodus 21, the bull is killed, but the owner can be ransomed. In other words, the owner of the bull did not have to suffer the same fate as the bull. In the same way, through Jesus, you don't have to suffer the same fate as your sin. The wages of sin is death. However, Jesus has killed your sin and ransomed your life with his life. How deep the Father's love for us, how vast beyond all measure, that he should give his only Son to make a wretch his treasure. How great the pain of searing loss, the Father turns his face away, as wounds which mar the chosen one bring many sons to glory. Behold the man upon the cross, my sin upon his shoulders. Ashamed, I hear my mocking voice call out among the scoffers. It was my sin that held him there until it was accomplished. His dying breath has brought me life. I know that it is finished. I will not boast in anything, no gifts, no power, no wisdom, but I will boast in Jesus Christ, his death and resurrection. Why should I gain from his reward? I cannot give an answer, but this I know with all my heart: his wounds have paid my ransom. His wounds have paid my ransom.